Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. So today's video is probably going to be a little bit long, but we're going to talk about a couple things. So first off, I'm not muted, I'm good to go. Let's just adjust this just a little bit. Okay, we're going to talk about my Avatar of Fire Trapper, which I may have shown a little bit about. I'm going to explain the reasonings behind why I'm Avatar of Fire, and then I'm going to show the new tree and show you guys the new build for my Avatar of Fire Trapper that I plan on playing in the new leagues. And I'm going to give a thorough explanation as to why pretty much everything is chosen. So first off, I'm going to show you guys some gameplay. This character is pretty much fully self-found aside from the exception of my gems. I go over all my gear, my links, and etc. I'm currently level 63, and I'll give you guys a Sarn rundown here shortly. My gloves, cold lightning, nothing special, no life. My boots, deer stalkers, 4 off colors are required for the build. Probably the hardest piece to obtain. Deer stalkers, though, do not have a high dex requirement, and they're actually very easy to off-color compared to other things. Belt, standard, no life. Chest piece, life, fire, lightning, yes, nothing crazy. Both rings have mana regen with life, that's pretty much it. My weapon is the only pretty much the best thing I have, is a +2 fire dagger, which you don't need. Ideally, you want +2 fire, like 20% +2 fire gems, elemental based. One-handed, like mace, essentially like a set. I'll show you guys here. There we go, like this, but +2 fire, which is linked with Fire Trap, Fire Pen, and Ellie Prolif. My helmet is reduced mana, clarity, purity of elements, and Arctic armor. Shield would be, which is also just basic stuff, life, 2 res. Shield is complete utter trash. It should just be a regular resist shield. There's no need for me to even have a spell damage base. And that's pretty much all my gear. Same with my necklace, has to have dex on it. Life. It's actually pretty good in 2 reses. So my links are Fire Trap, Fire Pen, and Prolif. 3 link, that's it. My Cold Snap, which is my Cold to Fire Cold Snap with Avatar Fire, is Fire Pen, Ellie Prolif, Cold Snap, Cold to Fire, and then Trap Support Gem. Now additionally, I would run another trap, which I don't have set yet, which is my single target killer, which is Flame Surge, which is right here. So it would be Flame Surge, Fire Pen, Trap, and Concentrated Effect on a 4-link, which does a retarded amount of damage. So my tree is right here if you guys want to see it. It's nothing special. This is the tree I already talked about in the video before, so I'm not going to link it, but I want to show you guys a rundown of my current character. Now the reason why I use Cold to Fire is my ideal setup is to run through Fire Trap a pack, Cold Snap a trap, Fire Trap, and just keep on going, because you don't have enough Fire Traps to keep on going. You need something else. And my Cold Snap actually hits harder than my Fire Trap, and my Fire Trap is in a +2 gems. So my Fire Trap is 2 levels higher than my Cold Snap. My Cold Snap is just much higher damage because of all the Cold to Fire modifier. So let's turn the 2 heralds on. They're not required by any means. The damage gain is very, very minimal. If I ever get a Cloak of Defiance, the heralds would be dropped. For example, I'd run Purity be swapped for Discipline later on, and then of course Clarity for your Arctic armor, which I'm not going to be showing in this. So, the playstyle, let me switch my Naga first. That could have been really bad. Alright, the playstyle is essentially Trap, Curse, move on. Trap, Curse, move on. And again, let's keep on going. Trap, Curse. And then of course when you're running low, you just basically, when you're in a map, it's going to be much more quick-paced. So you keep on going. Cold Snap, boom. Here's a box. 1, 2, 3, open. Freezes you. Done. And you just continue with this motion. Trap, Curse, move on. Trap, Curse, move on. Now, like I said, I do not have my Flame Surge on right now, or it'd be a lot easier to kill rares. My life is low, but it's not really concerning by any means. I want to show you guys how much damage a Flame Surge trap hits for without conk effect. So I'm just going to swap in really fast my Flame Surge for my Ellie Prolif. So it does have the Fire Pen right now. And I want to see if I can find like a tanky guy here. I'm not going to touch the box right now. Let's see. Anyone here tanky? No? Anyone? Trying to find someone tanky. Okay, I mean this guy's not tanky, but you can see he's Let's bring him back over here. Okay, here's the Flame Surge trap. It's awesome damage, and that linked with Conk would be ridiculous. Considering he didn't even have an ignite on him, he was just burned from the burning ground. I'll do one more run through it really fast. This is just Fire Trap. I don't have my Cold Snap isn't, of course, doesn't have Prolif on it right now. And this build gets buffed immensely with the new patch, and I'm gonna explain that here very shortly once I go through the whole thing. There you go. There's an example of Flame Surge trap without Conk like stated before. So I really like it. I can see a lot of potential with the build, and it's got so much more damage to pick up. So this is the character right now. I want to show you nodes that I still need to pick up. Double Curse, if I choose Double Curse, is there. We're still getting 10, 20, 20, 32, 32, 48% elemental damage right here. We're still getting entropy for damage over time. So that's 27, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45% extra damage over time. 10% penetration from high explosives with the 9, 18% trap damage. That's pretty much it. That would be the damage in the build with, like I said, the option for Double Curse. None of that matters though. What matters is this right here. So this is the skill tree for the new build, the build I'm playing now. It's modified for the new tree, and I'm gonna go ahead and explain it right now once I hit this reset button. So you guys should be able to see every node on here. You should be able to read them too. Let me just make sure. Yeah, you can read them. Okay. So I like switched up this thing called layered windows. So fuck, this microphone's in the way. All right, yeah, you can see it. All right. So here we go. We're gonna start. The reason why we're starting Templar over Shadow is Shadow doesn't get any AoE at the start. Shadow does not get as much life as Templar at the start. Shadow doesn't get the same quest gem rewards as Templar at the start. So that's the reasoning for going Templar. If you go Shadow, the end result is the same. That's being said right now. So here we go. We're going to start off with a 14 LE and a 12 LE. The only factor I would start Shadow over Templar is if it's not worth taking this. That's it. But I still think it's fine. So we're taking 3 spell damage nodes, which don't double dip, but it's still fine, into a 16% spell damage, and we're moving down into Discipline and Training, which is an awesome node. 30 life with 10% max life. If you need regeneration, you pick up Sanctity. If not, you leave it alone. Very effective node for 1 point. The armor doesn't do anything for you. The maximum ES helps with Eldritch Battery. 1% life regen is really good, and it branches off into 3 nodes that are also pretty good, but that's for later. We're going to stop here. We're going to go into AoE here. I prefer the AoE over a 4% LE. It's your choice on how you want to do it. You could come in like this, or you could branch it off like that. It's your choice on how you want to do it. Now, let's talk about something right now. Elementalist, 5% chance to freeze, shock, and ignite. Insane, and I'll go into it soon. We're going to grab the Strength, move into Devotion, which got nerfed, I believe. Did it get nerfed? I thought it was... Oh, never mind. Maybe it didn't get nerfed. So we're going to grab Devotion, come across, grab Elemental, which is low. It's 8. Actually, 8% is okay. The 6% are terrible. But the 12%, 12%, 20% with 2% pen, with 6%, with another chance to freeze, shock, and ignite, with 30% increased damage. Not more damage, increased. So that's awesome. This cluster is super efficient. But let's talk about this. So 5% chance to ignite and 5% chance to ignite. The reason why that's so good is I didn't spec out of my way at all. It's not a wasted node. It's a great node, and it gives the chance to ignite. That means 10% chance to ignite is a 10% chance of hitting a prolif. 1 out of 10 mobs, you're getting an extra prolif. For every prolif you have, it's going to take the highest damaging prolif. So say your Fire Trap deals 1 to 150, and you have 7 prolifs ranging from 105 to 129. It's going to take the 129 prolif, meaning every extra chance at a prolif you get is every extra 3, is more theoretical damage. And that showed when I played my Discharger and I used chance to ignite instead of increased burn damage. I'd have like 20 prolifs and everything would just melt because it would take the highest prolif. So you're kind of eliminating RNG in a way by doing that, and that's how I like to play. So from here we're going to take an Intel node and an Intel node and grab all of Purity of Flesh. It's a really great cluster. There's really not much to say about it. It's good life, good hybrid, and free strength. Sovereignty is an option. I don't think you'll need it though. Come up. We're not taking Avatar of Fire at the start. We're going to move across, and we're probably going to need this Dex node, so we're going to click it in. You don't need Holy Fire until you run Prolif. Once you run Prolif, you skill into Holy Fire. If you're not using Prolif, you don't take Holy Fire. So just make sure you note that. We're going to move across. We're not touching Whispers of Doom. We don't need it. And finally, we're back at our meat. So from here, we're going to go ahead and take fire damage, 10, 12, 12, 12, 25 penetration. We do not need Breath of Flames, and here's why. So Ignite Duration is really great for something like Discharge, how I said before, because you want to boom, and then you move on, and boom, and you move on. But with a Trapper, you're throwing a trap, the trap's blowing up, and you can throw another one if you wanted to. There's no requirements to get your trap back, you just throw another one. So because of that, you don't need Ignite Duration. Your goal is to just one-shot it, move on, one-shot, move on, you know, and let the burn proliferate. So this node is, I'm not saying it's useless, it's great for single target, but we're not going to use it. Chance to Ignite's okay, but it's a standalone node. Fire damage is okay, 10%, and then another 10%. So it's okay, but I'm going to leave it out. Instead, we're going to take Life, Life, and Life. Now, the 5% elemental resist is pretty good when you're starting a league. So it's 5% all ally resist, and then we have an additional right here for 12%. So this puts us at, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 17% all resist, which is pretty neat. We're going to pick up Deep Thoughts for when we start running Arctic Armor. Now, you can come across and take this whole Witch Cluster here, but this is 6 points for 60% hybrid Ellie and fire damage, meaning in total it makes 60%. So it's like 10% per node, which is okay, it's not bad, but it doesn't get you anywhere. It's not leading to a giant keystone, so we're leaving it out. I'm going to move across and come into the AoE, grab Blast Radius, Deep Wisdom, and stop right here at Heart and Soul. Now from here you have two options. You can come out through Life and Mana, like this, or you can connect here and choose to skill into this whenever you want, so that's my choice. Because if I don't want the node right, you know, the 4%, 6%, I'm just going to leave it out. So we're going to go across and grab EB. Now this grabs EB at about Merciless, which is what I'm running right now. Our life value right now is probably a little bit low. Actually, it's 96%. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for just running through. So from here, we're going to go ahead and move down. We're going to take our next Dex node, move down 1, 2, and now we're going to fill in with Saboteur, which is an awesome, awesome node. So from here, we're going to move down into Cold Hearted Calculation, pick up Blaze, which is another 5% chance to ignite. Remember what I talked about igniting before with Prolifs. Grab fire damage, and this is when you get your damage. Trickery is 20% increased elemental damage, which is insane, with 20 intel, which helps for you. And the crit is okay. Crit is crit. We're not going to complain about it. Shadow nodes are 6% life nodes, which are awesome, and then Blood Siphon is 12% with free base strength. And then we're going to grab our elemental damage through here. This is awesome. 10, 10, 10, which is okay, but then 12 and 14 with 10 base ES, which gets shot into your mana pool. We're going to come down and grab Entropy. Now, by this time, sorry, you should have, I apologize. We're going to definitely grab Holy Fire around level like 50 or 40, depending on when you go Prolif. That was one thing I left out. So we're going to continue. We're going to move down. We're going to grab our Life, Blood Drinker, move across, grab High Explosives, and Clever Construction around top 80s. But of course, you could choose whenever you want to do this. Like you can choose how you want to scale your build. You could realistically drop Breath of Flames and drop like all of Holy Fire and instead get Entropy for the start and then rush Clever Construction. It's really however you want to do it. I mean, I'm in Merciless right now because I have the ability of aiming my traps. My traps don't typically die, and you just need one trap. You have 6 traps between your Cold Snaps and your Fire Traps. You just need one to hit to kill the mobs. And then the Ignite stays there. So Clever Construction is nice, but it's not 100% the man. You're not throwing bear traps or anything. You're just throwing traps, they explode, and Prolif happens. So that's the build. I'm really excited about it. Now this puts you at 104. So you're like I said, high 80s, 87 or so. You have room to work with at this point. You can choose what you want to do. So let's put in a life node here. This puts us at 144% life. All right. Grab Written in Blood. 164% life. That's great. One thing to note is that you only need to run 2 auras with this build. Clarity, Discipline. That's it. Nothing else. If you want to run Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder, you can. You don't need to. So you have all of that free mana to go for Cloak of Defiance. So be it you may look like you're at a low HP pool, you have 2,000 plus mana free almost. Free to do whatever you want. It's going to be about 1,800 with proper gear. Just free mana just sitting there that you don't need to use for anything. You could just have a crazy high level Arctic Armor and just have all of the damage go to your mana. 40% just shooting right to your mana pool. Now in terms of mana regen, if you choose to take that route, the one sad thing is we did end up losing a lot of what's the word I'm looking for. We lost mana regen from Templar start, so we can gain it back with 4 points. We can go 1% life regen, and then get right here for all this life and mana, which gives us 60%. Which is not bad. That puts us at 113. If you wanted more max mana, 6% reduced mana cost per skill, and 22% max mana. Or you could come up 8 and 12, or 8 and... Oh, never mind, I lied. You can't do it that way. So we could come up this way, which is 22% maximum mana. So there's a lot of different ways to play around with the build. It's your choice as to how you want to do it. Like I said, you have the option of dual curse. If you don't, you just want raw damage, you can spec the 6 points like this, you know, into Witch. You've got a lot of options. You've got a trap node right here. If you want to do a spin-off on crit, you've got crit right here. Doomcast is sitting there for you. Assassination is sitting here for you. You have the spell multiplier by Templar sitting right here. I'm sorry, we need Avatar Fire. You have the Arcane Potency sitting right here for you. You've got a lot of things you can skill into for crit. Like, it's all just sitting there. I'm trying it without crit. Maybe I'll go crit later on. I don't really know. The damage seems fine as of right now. I don't want to rely on a crit. But it seems like it's a lot of fun right now, and it's a playstyle tailored towards me, and that's what I like. So the build, like I said, is working out pretty well. Even here, Witch has 10, 20, and 10. That's not that bad. That's pretty good too. That's okay. So the build is tailored towards me. I like it. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. Just as clarification, if you made it to the end of this video, the time you want to pick up Avatar of Fire is when you start using Cold Snap. So whenever you get your 5-link setup for Cold Snap, you go Avatar of Fire, because that's when your Cold Snap's going to be, you know, part of what it's going to be part of your arsenal essentially of traps. So that's pretty much about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was explanatory for you guys. The link will be in the description below. I could probably post the download for this tree if you guys don't have it in the description below as well. And you know, if you enjoy the video, as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, you can catch me streaming pretty much every day at twitch.tv/Pohx, which is located down below as well. If you want to know when I go live, feel free to check out my Twitter. I post anytime I go live on my feed right there. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Happy holidays, everybody. And take care, everyone. Where's my end button? Got it.